You've been promoted. I'm sorry, I had to get y'all with that. I had to do it. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me, all right? I got a son in the hospital. I got a son in the hospital. He needs me. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot. No, Yee! Victory Tuesday. Yeehaw! How about them Eagles? How about them Eagles? Ow, ow, ow! How about them Eagles? All right. All jokes aside, man, welcome back to another Twitch stream. Welcome back to another Twitch recap that will be on my YouTube channel at I Am Bruce Leroy within the next couple days. It's your boy Bruce Leroy. Before we get started with today's video, man, follow me on this Twitch at, it's Bruce Leroy BIH, or I Am Bruce Leroy BIH. My apologies. Pardon my. Okay? Pardon my. Follow me on my social media platforms, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, everything's at I Am Bruce Leroy. TikTok is Bruce Leroy BIH. How about the Eagles, man? How about the Eagles, man? But how about them, though? Victory Tuesday. Now, little detour. I apologize for not streaming on Monday. Things kind of got chaotic with me trying to get enough food because, like I told y'all a couple days ago. By the way, I owe y'all two apologies. One is I had no fucking clue that my goddamn lips were that chat. Chat. It's like they got the goddamn 30 for 30 song. But anyway, I had no idea that my lap, what the fuck? Pause, nigga. I had no idea that my lips. I don't know if I'm trying to struggle to think of a thought or struggle to think of a thought that's not sus. Anyway, either or, maybe both. I don't know. But yeah, fuck, hold on. Let me get my shit together. Getting my shit together. Fighting my shit. Let me stop. All right. Yeah. So I apologize that my goddamn lips were chapped in a bitch on Sunday. I think I noticed it towards like the second half. I just didn't peep it in time until after I looked. I'm like, God damn, boy, he's looking like Tyrone Biggums. Haven't got a fix in like 6 months. Like, shit, you look terrible, dude. But yeah, I apologize for that. But I also apologize for not being able to stream yesterday. Things were chaotic with me trying to be on time to be able to watch both of the games, which I watched the vast majority of the Detroit Lions and the Buccaneers game, and I was able to stay up to midnight without dropping my phone to see the entirety of the Texans and the Seahawks game. I did also watch the entire game of the Falcons and the 49ers game. We will talk about all of that in today's recap of the Eagles, NFL, more news. You know how we do things, man. All right. So, first and foremost, we recently got an update among the Philadelphia Eagles, right? There's a lot of free agents out there, like Stephon Gilmore. We saw what he did to A.J. Brown. Probably the only person I truly seen put A.J. Brown in a blender. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, the very first time I see him struggle was on that Sunday night football game. I think it was in Arlington. Don't quote me on that. But, yeah, Stephon Gilmore did a pretty good job. He should have a job somewhere. The Eagles should have been calling. You know what I'm saying? To be able to guard and defend A.J. Brown well and give him problems is not easy. He's the first corner I've seen do that. I don't know why we never picked up the phone to give him a call. I don't know why we never picked up the phone to go give Yannick Ngakoue a call. Because he's been sitting in free agency for a hot minute. He's an easy 5 to 7 sack guy. You know, you talk about guys on a defensive rotation that can get to the quarterback, which you desperately need, especially with the sudden retirement, the surprise retirement of Zadarius Smith. Why not bring a guy like Yannick Ngakoue here? So what if he's, has to be able to find a home? He's a very, very solid depth piece to any football team. Like, he's been productive for pretty much any football team that he's played with. So for us not to even consider, and mind you, he's been, he should have been an Eagle a long time ago, in my opinion. And unfortunately, the way it's looking, because week 8, I think, is the last week for the trade deadline. Don't quote me. It might be week 8, week 9. I don't know. Let me double check real quick. Let me get y'all the facts. Let me get y'all the facts, man. NFL trade deadline. 6 hours. What's the NFL trade deadline? Tuesday, November 4th. Oh, damn. Then that's that's a long way from now. Nah, we Gucci. That's a long way from now. We don't need to worry about getting nobody at this moment. So that's going to kind of adjust my opinion a little bit about this recent side about Brandon Graham. So Brandon Graham is coming out of retirement. Now, there's two modes of thought to this. Obviously, welcome back to the team. Definitely brought a lot to this team. One of the greatest Eagles to ever put on the midnight green. We already know this, right? Retired on top. I thought that was a proper send-off. But, they decided to bring him back. Now, I did have an original thought to this, but my opinion is going to slightly shift because I literally just found out the deadline isn't until November 4th, so we have plenty of time to add players to this roster. So it's not exactly too late. Right, consider the fact that we did get a win, so that's good. And Quinyon was able to play because he did have a hamstring injury during the Giants game, and we have an opportunity to go get back on the road on that terrible ass MetLife Stadium. But we have an opportunity for sure to get back. And boy, let me tell you something right now. How sweet is it that the Giants game is right after we get our first win? Just think about how much hunger, how much passion we're going to have coming into this game. Think about it like this. We feeling good off the win. A lot of guys played really well, which we'll definitely get it. We'll definitely have a conversation about. And, boy, this is just... I mean, you couldn't ask for this damn game to be at a better time, to be honest with you, right? Truly, you really couldn't ask for this. Now, I'm confused because I thought I did not. What the fuck was wrong with me? So I just realized I took no notes on the Falcons and 49ers game. That would have been nice to do that. But anyway, I kind of remember a majority of what happened there. So that's another conversation. We're going to talk about the Eagles and the Vikings. Obviously, that's the primary goals. Talk about the home team, man. Home team. You know what I'm saying? However the fucking handshake work for home team. Ho. You know what I'm saying? Rocks in the building. All right, anyway, moving forward with that. What was I trying to say? Yeah, so just getting that apology out the way, shit got crazy between me leaving work late, me trying to get food so I could, because like I told you, I've been battling a sickness, and it was really bad on Saturday. I don't know how the hell. I had to do what I had to do to go make that money, but it was bad on Saturday. I ain't gonna hold you. But yeah, just moving forward, let's have a conversation about this football game, man. All right, so... do I have my pen? I see I'm not prepared. You know what I'm saying? If you ready, what's that saying? If you are ready, you ain't got to get whatever the fuck. Yeah, y'all know what it is. All right, moving forward. Choo-choo! Moving forward, all right? So let's talk about JALEN motherfucking Alexander. Now, if you think we're not going to make some noise, all right, on the count of 3, make some motherfucking noise for JALEN Alexander Hurts! Nah, that's not good enough. That's not good enough, bruh. Air horn and clap. It's not good enough, man. I don't know why I read that shit out loud. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. That's not good enough, dog. That's not good enough. That's a little better. Matter of fact, fuck it. We going straight to it. We're going straight to it. We're going straight to it. Now, this might be for somebody else, but we all know we're still talking about Jalen Hurts. Nah, that's not loud enough for me, y'all. There we go.
It's your boy N-O-R-E. Make some noise in my S5. So 100 colors.
Oh, this nigga fucked up. What's the air like, bro? If you gonna do a goddamn skit, do this shit right, sir. As somebody who's a content creator, comedian, attention to detail, sir. I should have heard the goddamn the air horn in class, bro. You're not even doing it right. Come on, man. Fuck it, we gonna have to do I'll do the regular joint. Oh, shit. Put on quite a show. Very entertaining. But it's over now. But it's over now. Go on and take a bow. Oh, shut the fuck up. Singing sucks. Boo! Jalen motherfucking Hurts. Let's go over. I can sing. I swear to God, it's just it didn't hit just now. I gotta shut the. You gotta know when the journey is over. Jalen motherfucking Hurts, 19 for 23, 326, 3 touchdowns. By the way, I did see the Dallas and Washington game, and it's a tidy. We will have a quick conversation about that as well. We watched a lot of football games. We watched some college. We watched some NFL. We will have a conversation. I didn't watch a ton of college because I had to work and shit like that, but it is what it is. Yeah, so 19 for 23, 326, 3 touchdowns. Now, some of y'all say this is his best game. I'm like, bro, like, did y'all not watch the first Super Bowl performance? Like, come on now. Come on now. Did you not watch the Pittsburgh? Did you not watch the Titans performance of 22? Come on now. Like, this one is his best, 100%. And here's what Eagles fans have to understand. They got negative rush yards. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Who cares? This is what Eagles fans have to understand. For all you Eagles haters out there. Cam, Two-Face Newton, Shanae Jenkins. Jinxie Cat, you know, if you know, you know. All the content creators that's coming up on my feed, the fake ass nigga that like Robert Pattinson off Twilight. You got this little Peter Griffin looking motherfucker that pop up on my phone. If you know, you know. I'm not mentioning you niggas' name. I'm like Michael Irvin. I don't even know your name. See, you would think the algorithm would be friendly to me and show me motherfuckers that like I will resonate with. Don't show me Eagles fans. Don't show me Eagles haters. Show me Eagles lovers. Pause. But you understand my point. Show me guys that love the Philadelphia. Don't show me Jalen Hurts haters. I don't give a fuck about them. But either way, anyway, this is what we have to understand. There is absolutely nothing, and I mean nothing. No, let me stop, because singing is not going to work. It's just not going to work. I could sing, but not right now. Maybe later. Maybe some of y'all mothers. Maybe there's some. No, I'm joking. Me like to joke. Me joke a lot. I love you guys. Me like to joke a lot. I love you guys. Please. I love you. I love you. I love the world. I love everybody. Okay. Real shit, though. We as Eagles fans have to stop asking for fair criticism on Jalen Hurts. We got to stop asking for people to give Jalen Hurts his props and respect. Because the reality of the situation is this. The people that hate on Jalen Hurts, they operate on pure fallacies. The foundation for the hate on Jalen Hurts is based upon pure fallacies and the delusion that they actually understand the game of football. The points that they try to give up the points that they put up to try to discredit Jalen Hurts either are very stupid, like I'm talking about it's an illogical point, or the points that they have made have already been disproven. Jalen Hurts can't throw the ball. I mean, there's a fucking whole highlight montage of his whole career. Even going back to like his whole career, even especially in 2022 onward, of him making crazy, ridiculous throws. The Miami game where we wore the Kelly Greens in 23. So the evidence is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. This game, the Pittsburgh game last year, the 2 Super Bowls, the games in 2022. We can go on and on and on, right? There is nothing, and on top of that, right? Actually, let me finish my point first, and let's bring it all up together. All the little cogs meshed together. Yeah, if y'all haven't seen The Incredibles, y'all missing out. The second one I heard was good too. I don't know why the hell I never went to go watch the second one. But anyway, that's beside the point. Let's stop trying to look for Jalen Hurts to get his just due and credit from mainstream media and sometimes some of these former players and some of these content creators who think they know football and all they really know is streaming on Twitch. And that's just a reality situation. Now, I know what you're going to say. Bruce, you're streaming on Twitch too. But there's a difference. I've dedicated 5 years of my life towards following this team, towards getting more in depth, towards reading every article, towards keeping track of every single thing that goes on with this. I have fully invested and committed my time, my attention, into doing my research before I get up on this camera. Now, there's been times I've been wrong, okay? There's been times I've been wrong. Just in sports in general. I thought the Lillard, Giannis Antetokounmpo thing was going to go crazy because, okay, say you got the little wall for Giannis. He can kick it back to Dame Lillard, who can drive to the basket. They play a 2-man game, play real fast, play transition basketball. It did not work out, and part of it, I think, is because Dame's heart was never truly in it because he never wanted to be in Milwaukee in the first place. But I thought that was a match made, I don't want to say in heaven. That's, you're doing a little too much. But that was the perfect matchup, in my opinion. You have a guy who can already dribble the ball a little bit, can go in transition, very athletic, and Giannis, he can get there. But, he's not perfect in his dribbling, and sometimes the wall does happen to work at times. But what if you got to consider a guy who could drive to the basket, facilitate the basketball, and Damian Lillard, and can shoot from the damn parking lot? Could shoot from where the Oregon Ducks be tailgating, right? So you got a guy who can do that. This team will be unstoppable. And you still had some good pieces, right? Yeah, you lost Drew Holiday. That was a big help on the defensive end of the ball. But you still had good pieces in Bobby Portis, and you still had Brook Lopez. So it's not like your team was completely depleted, right? So then that could actually help with your team more because you still have Bobby Portis, who's consistently getting better for this ball club every year, and you got Brook Lopez. So I've been wrong about that. I was wrong. I could go on and on, but there's been times, documented and not documented, that I have been wrong about sports takes. But when I try to get on this camera and I talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, I try to, even if I could be wrong, even if there are people that might disagree with my take, even though it might be a logical one, because it's all opinions at the end of the day. Some things is factual, but our takes and perspectives are our perspectives. I try to know what the hell I'm talking about, and that's by watching the games, not just as an Eagles fan, but as a football fan in general, and being considerate to what these players got to go through day in and day out, and understanding that as a content creator, not just as I'm an entertainer. I don't call this. I'm an entertainer because I like music more than anything, but I definitely love doing this a lot. But here's the thing. I dedicate pretty much my life towards the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's not just about being a fan. It's not just about watching every game. It's about watching every game with a deeper understanding and appreciation for what these players have to do. Even the players that we think are trash, or you garbage, maybe at the professional level, but not in general. Because if they were really trash at football, they wouldn't have made it to this league. So I say what I say. Yes, I'm a fan. No, I have not experienced what it's like to be in a football locker room. Yes, I wanted to play football, but shit didn't go my way, right? It didn't happen. But regardless, I tried to give appreciation and a great amount of respect and dignity to these players that have to go in and have to do this. Play this physical, tolling game. That, truth to be told, can kill you if certain things doesn't go right. And God forbid anybody gets, I don't care, rival, whatever. God forbid nobody dies from this. But this is a very physical sport, and it's done in all types of crazy weather, sometimes super hot, sometimes cold as hell, sometimes raining as hell, sometimes snowing as hell, and you putting your body out there. It's like, it's a newfound respect that you have for these players, just understanding the type of thing they have to do to sacrifice their body to be able to play this game, okay? So I have an appreciation of that covering this team for 5+ years. These streamers, these content creators, and yes, the football players that don't respect Hurts, we already know who one of them is, right? Unfortunately, some of these players have had either really good careers or Hall of Fame, however you want to call it. But I would never be on that level of football understanding somebody who played professional football and especially made a great career out of it. But I'm going to go out of my way to defend my team no matter what. And this is the type of thing that really pisses me off the most. And it doesn't even really make sense. People say, oh, Eagles fans are annoying. That's why we don't like Jalen Hurts, because Eagles fans are annoying. They keep putting him in conversations he don't belong in. Okay, bitch ass nigga. Explain to me how the fuck. Okay, so since he's in a conversation he doesn't belong in, let's put things into perspective here. How many. Okay. Does he complete over 60% of his passes every year? Pretty much. Sometimes over 65. Does he turn the ball over very often? Outside of maybe a few outlier years, but that was just very uncharacteristic of him? No. Checks that box. Have any of your favorite players or your favorite quarterbacks have been in any given league year been undoubtedly, whether they were given the award or not, been the best player in any given football year? The answer is no. For some of you who are like Lamar, cool. And don't tell me about Josh Allen winning the MVP. Lamar didn't deserve the MVP, but he damn sure deserves it over Josh Allen. And Saquon was the best player last year, so Saquon technically should have won the whole thing, period. Because the MVP, it's not about who's the most valuable player on their team. It's literally who is the best player in any given league year. That is what the MVP award should be about. It is not. It's become a award based on politics, popularity, and things that have nothing to do with actually the game of football. That's the truth. And so as the All-Pros, so as the Pro Bowl voting. It's not about who's the most deserving. It's about who has recognition of name value. And it just goes to show you that the people that are in charge of making these decisions, the votes that they count, they don't actually watch the games. They don't actually watch football. These are not real football fans. Vast majority of these people that have to talk shit about Jalen Hurts don't actually know the game of football at all. They're not. They are just TikTokers. That's it. They are streamers. I'm a streamer, but that's just part of what I do. I do a whole bunch of other shit. But like I said, I've dedicated 5 years of my life to this football team to try to understand things from an analytical level. So much so that when you guys were harping on Quez, I'm like, wait a second, hold on now. How unfair is it for you guys to ask a player to produce when he's getting one target every 5 games? compared to his level of responsibilities in the office he had in 2021, where he did significantly well. How do you expect a player to stay in rhythm? You can practice all that you want. You can watch film all you want, but the reality of the situation is unless you're able to get those targets and feel the ball going into your hands and be able to have the confidence knowing. And it's not really Jalen Hurts' fault. Sometimes it's just, when you're on a super team, it's only but so many opportunities that are able to go your way. That's just what it is. They're going to prioritize who they're going to prioritize, right? The big names, the guys who's getting paid the most, those are the guys that are going to get the ball, right? So the ball's going to fall where it's going to fall. And like I said, the majority of the guys that's getting the touches are the guys that's going to be higher on the depth chart and getting paid more. This is the reality of the situation. So while I do agree that Quez deserves blame in the fact that, listen, if you are, you ain't got to get ready if you stay ready, right? I think that's I'm trying to figure out what the goddamn saying is for the longest, but you understand my perspective from that. But I try to give Quez the benefit of the doubt, understanding the game from a deeper level as far as, just saying, yo, that's a lot on a player psychologically if I'm involved and I've done well, and then my reward for doing well is a significant reduction in the role that I have on this offense. Now, that's not to absolve Quez from his inability to compensate for that by when his number is called to actually go make the plays he's supposed to make, right? Because now you make your case even harder, right? Because when you are getting the opportunities, if you can't capitalize on them, then even if your case is valid as a quarterback and even just your role in the offense, why the fuck would I negotiate for you to get the ball more? Or how is it possible for you to get the ball more if the opportunities that you're given, as few as they are? And also, Quez talking on social media kind of put him in a bind too, right? When you have a rough year like that and you tell the world, I'm the best wide receiver 3 in football, and you had a really bad year last year, it doesn't really bode well for you. I think in those instances when you brought at your lowest, your attitude must match that as well, of humility. And that allows you to remove the blinders and be able to see the reality situation. So let me not talk and ramble the fuck on and get to the point. The point is, we are in, unfortunately, social media rewards buffoonery, stupidity, and ignorance. How does it reward it? With attention. Not because you're doing anything that's of particular significance. You're doing anything that's noteworthy or something that people should look into and say, I should invest in this. Social media rewards dumbassery, foolish behavior. Harassing people in public is a crime. Going up to somebody and smacking somebody in the back of their neck will get your ass whooping, and in some situations probably get you killed. That's not something to play with. That's not funny. Fucking with somebody that's going about their day, minding their business, that don't know you is not funny. It's not a fucking skill set. But what has social media done? How have the people responded to it? Rather than, because here's what people do not understand, or people just neglect to comprehend. The best way to get something to go away is not actually by giving it your attention. It's by quite the opposite. When you make comments, when you flood stuff with hate comments, when you give things a dislike, you think in your head that you're doing things to, I'm hurting this person. You're actually not. And the algorithm doesn't give a fuck about what type of comment is being typed. The algorithm goes by engagement. So it's likes, it's retweets, it's comments. Comments are extremely important, right? So when the algorithm sees, oh, snap, this person getting a lot of comments, you got to push this video out more because people are engaging with it, right? Versus likes and retweets, it can be done by a bot. Sometimes comments can be done by a bot too, but I think AI has been smart as far as okay, well, I'm assuming that a human being will have more expressive thought than just putting heart eyes and a bunch of fire emojis. You understand what I'm saying? Or just saying some dumb, vague ass shit. So AI has gotten a little smarter in that regard. But here's the thing. The people that we're looking to get credit from to Jalen Hurts will never do it because it is profitable for them. It's not profitable. It's not profitable for these people to be fair. It's not profitable for these people to give the benefit of the doubt. It's profitable to say ignorant shit and to rile up our fan base, even if what they're saying makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Jalen Hurts can't read defenses. Okay, smartass. The Rams game in the second half, the first half, 17% of the plays that were called in the Rams game were audible. In the second half, 33%. Who the fuck you think are calling these audibles? It has to be the quarterback. Who was the starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles? Jalen Hurts. Okay, cool. So 33% of the plays that were audible in the comeback. And then this is what they're going to say. They're going to ignore that bit and say, all you guys did was win by a lucky-ass blocked field goal. So when they can't beat you with that argument, they go to some other dumb shit. Okay, fair. That helped. But also Hurts put the points on the board and put us in position so that all we needed was a blocked field goal to win the game. Blocked field goals also are part of the game. It is what it is. A kicker can either miss it or make it. It doesn't matter. That's a part of the game. So what? Just because a kicker lines up to kick it doesn't necessarily guarantee 3 points. Sorry. Sometimes it doesn't even guarantee one, depending on the situation. So I say that to say this. Jalen Hurts can't throw middle of the field. What they do when they say dumb shit like this. Oh, by the way, I'm not even done with my point. Saquon Barkley. I'm trying to remember what game it was. Was it the Rams game or something? It might have been a Rams game. What was the games, man? I'm trying to remember. Chiefs game, Buccaneers game, Broncos game. I think it was the Broncos game. You guys remember the wheel route, right? What did Saquon say after the play? That wasn't in the playbook. Who the fuck you think audible to that wheel route? Jalen Hurts. Orlovsky just recently talked about Jalen Hurts faking as if A.J. Brown was going to be his hot route and them getting fooled, which ended up being a sluggo for a touchdown. Who do you think is making those adjustments? Jalen Hurts can't throw middle of the field. If the fucking play concepts do not call for throws to be made in the middle of the field, how can he throw it? How can a human being be incapable of throwing something in the middle? If I have 2 arms and 2 hands, how is the fuck is it impossible for me to throw? Nigga, I'm not an NFL quarterback. But let's just say this is the middle of my screen. Oh my God, what the fuck just happened? I just threw something in the middle. So how the fuck is a quarterback? If I, who never played football, could throw that shit in the middle of the screen, what the fuck makes you think a quarterback can't throw in the middle of the field? Are you fucking stupid? If there's no route concepts dedicated towards the middle of the field, how the fuck can he throw middle of the field? So again, can't read defenses. I just gave you multiple examples of how he read defenses. The dagger in the Super Bowl, another example of how he reads defenses. What the fuck are we talking about? So then when he checks all those boxes, checks the I can't throw box, and all this other dumb shit, right? And also conveniently neglecting that this play calling is, since Sirianni's taken out at the helm, it's been mediocre. There's been some bright spots in Steichen. There's been some bright spots in Kellen Moore's, in the Kellen Moore era. But overall, the scheme itself is not very good. conveniently ignoring the fact that every single year, Jalen Hurts has had a different offensive coordinator. So he has to adjust to different tastes, different styles, so on and so forth. But you don't want to mention that because it doesn't, even though it's a fact, it doesn't go along with your argument. So you're not even going to acknowledge it. Then you want to say everybody's better than Jalen Hurts, but when it's time to actually face Jalen Hurts' team, they don't win. I love Mahomes. Every single person that has watched me for a long time has known that Patrick Mahomes, past or present, is my favorite football player of all time. Not just quarterback, favorite football player ever. But I can't sit here and tell you with a straight face that Patrick Mahomes is better than Jalen Hurts when every single time they meet up, Jalen Hurts wins. Sorry, I can't. You can say, oh, Patrick Mahomes is more talented from a throwing perspective. And if some of you even have the nerve to say that Jalen Hurts is not that good of a runner, what the fuck are you talking about? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Do I think he's as crazy as maybe Lamar? No, not necessarily, but he's probably a scale or two down. He can run. If he's more than capable, he's a threat. Do you understand? And then on top of that, let's add another detail about how, Flacco, give credit when that credit was due, when credit's due. Because I was wrong about Flacco. I thought Flacco was washed up and wasn't worth the 5th round pick. My dumb ass was, again, me owning and being accountable for the bad, for the stupid ass takes that I make. Not knowing what the hell I'm talking about. Taking accountability on my own part. Guess what? When Flacco had that good game, what they say? What would Flacco do in the Eagles offense? Bitch, Saquon gets the runs he does, and the offense is predicated upon Hurts' mobility. The fuck are you talking about? The system is dedicated around Hurts. What are we talking about? Hurts checks every goddamn box you could ask for in a quarterback. It doesn't necessarily mean he's the most physically talented. It doesn't necessarily mean he's perfect. None of your fucking favorites are perfect. And like I said, got a few questions. 1, does your quarterback complete over 60% of their passes consistently? Do they complete 65%? Do they have a tendency to turn the ball over? That's the next question. Have you guys been to a conference championship? That's the next question. Did you get to a Super Bowl? Pretty much none of you have outside of Mahomes. Did you win a Super Bowl if you got there? Only Mahomes can answer that. Only Chiefs fans and Mahomes fans can. Right? Did you get there? If you got the Super Bowl once, did you get there a second time? Did you win any of the meetings? So everybody who you want to glaze and say is light years above Hurts, do they beat him when they actually face him? Do they outplay him when they actually face him? And does the resume as far as the wins? Because here's what I'm starting to realize. There's 2 types of football fans. There's real football fans, authentic football fans that just care about their football team getting wins and getting Lombardi trophies. Because that is really what pisses people off. That's what pisses opposing fan bases off. It's not the fact that your quarterback does this, that, and the third. It's the fact about, my team won a Super Bowl, got to the big game and got the rings, and your sorry-ass quarterback that you like, or the rival team that you like, has been nowhere near a fucking conference championship. That's the real bragging rights. I don't want 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns in a divisional round exit. So I can have a TikToker say he's elite. He's what I want in a lab. Well, bitch, these are human beings. You don't build a human being in a lab, bitch. Now, I apologize for using God and cursing the Satans, but God created a human being. Not Dr. Frank, not Dr. Fuck. God, sorry about cursing. I mentioned the God safe sentence. God created human beings, not Dr. Victor Frankenstein. Okay? A lot of you, I want this in a lab. Leadership. On and off the field. Carrying himself as a stand-up person. So what we have to understand, and this is how we hurt people by not giving them their attention. The worst thing we could do to another human being, especially one that's created content, and I know this person because this has happened to me on several occasions, it's not giving them the attention. Imagine 100 views with no likes, no retweets, no dislikes, and no comments. You have no idea if your content's good or not. You would assume it's not because it's 200 views and no likes. Sometimes 200 views and 100 views is not even enough. But guess what? You have no way of knowing either way. The unknown, ladies and gentlemen, as a content, I'm an entertainer. Fuck the content creation. I'm an entertainer. The unknown is what hurts. Damn. Did I do good? Did I not? Because sometimes 100 and 200 views is not really enough to really determine. I would say 500 to 600 views is a good barometer of whether or not you could truly see if your content did good or not. Not 100 to 200. Anybody can get that shit. You can get that shit off your first video. Like, you know what I mean? So, long story short, when it comes to Jinxie Cat, when it comes to the Black Willy Wonka, and anybody else who got something negative to say about Jalen Hurts, whether they on this side, not on this side, this, that, and the third, right? And some of them say, well, he won't throw the ball. I'm going to show you guys something, okay? It's going to be several plays I'm going to draw on here, okay? And you guys let me know where the fuck he can throw the ball at, okay? So there's 11 players on each side of the ball. Are we correct? Might be here all fucking day. Whatever. I would make a visual representation, but we have to move on because I don't want to stay on the Jalen Hurts point too much. But the reality situation is this. We got to stop looking for validation for people who will never give validation in the first place. We go where we're welcomed. We don't go where we're tolerated. That's the rule in life, and that's just how we got to operate. And how we stop Jalen Hurts' haters is that we have to stop responding to these motherfuckers. If we were going to respond, let's start having our own, Twitter spacing. Let's respond to them, right? Where they don't get no tags, they don't get no publicity outside of us mentioning their name. If we even remember, because some of these motherfuckers don't have no value outside of just fucking talking shit about Hurts. That's just the truth. I don't even know your name. But yeah, on some real shit, fuck them. Fuck anybody who don't like Jalen Hurts. And I'm so dead ass serious. You want to know why I say fuck them? Because unless you can it is not a crime to dislike Jalen Hurts. Like I said, my brother dislikes Jalen Hurts. It is a crime when you refuse to ignore the good things. It's a crime when you ignore the good things he does. You don't acknowledge the good things he does. But then everything that's bad is his fault. And everything that will go wrong with this team is his fault. Everything that he's done good in the past or in the present does not matter. Unless you can give me intelligent football conversation where you show me game film. You show me the all 40. You show me game tape. And then the niggas y'all glaze, you put them in the same situation. And you say, hey, when Josh Allen insert quarterbacks y'all glaze. And like I said, if you really want to dock Hurts for having a good team and Hurts for having a fucking competent GM, because you motherfuckers coping with y'all shitty ass GMs that are cheap, don't want to play players, don't want to pay players, salary cap hell. You're fucking mad because our GM knows how to manage a cap? That's y'all fucking stupidity. So? But, at the end of the day, What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I want you to give me. Oh yeah, if you really want to penalize Jalen Hurts because of the weapons that he have, I want you to get on Jared Goff for throwing 5 interceptions with a super team offensively. I want you to get on Aaron Rodgers for not doing shit with the Jets with a super team. I want you to get on Baker Mayfield and the Browns. And I love Baker Mayfield. I'm a true fan. But let's be honest, he botched that super team on the Browns had with Prime Odell, with Prime Landry and them boys, and then that defense. And Nick Chubb. It was a flop. Not entirely his fault. The Browns are what they were. Actually, it was his fault. He didn't play good enough. The system is part of the Browns organization definitely had a hand in it. But also, he did not play well enough to expectations. His heart was in it. He had a few bright spots, but he did not measure up to the player that he currently is now, right? So at the end of the day, what we have to understand is it's just like, oh yeah, so I want you to go take away Tom Brady's yellow jacket. If he's going to get one, well deserved, by the way, because he had elite defenses his whole career. It took him until about, 2006-ish to really start getting it together and start the numbers reflecting the talent. He was carried by special teams and defense pretty much his whole career, from Vinatieri to Gostowski, from guys like Matthew Slater, and so many other guys that they had. Lawyer Malloy, Patrick Chung. Even though Patrick Chung is not necessarily a Hall of Fame player, but he was a good system player for Belichick, right? Mike Vrabel, the coach, who's doing phenomenal as the coach for the Patriots, phenomenal. And Drake May looks outstanding, and so does that whole football team. They did a really good job in being aggressive as far as getting the weapons in the building, and everything is starting to click for that organization now. So shout out to Vrabel, always been a good coach. When he was let go from the Titans. And really, he was just subjected to fucking Ryan Tannehill's mediocre-ass quarterback play. But as a coach, he's been outstanding pretty much his whole career. His defense has always played hard. So Vrabel's never been a bad coach in the league. So we had him, Troy Brown, like Lawyer Malloy, Rodney Harrison. Man, we can go on and on and on. Ted Bruschi, like, what are we talking about? Take away Bradshaw's yellow jacket. Take away Troy Aikman's. Take away goddamn Joe Theismann's. Take away fucking who else in the Hall of Fame? Take away Elway's. Take away Peyton Manning's. I don't know if Peyton Manning got the Hall of Fame jacket yet. Take away his. Take away goddamn Joe Montana's. Seriously. The only one I feel like get to keep it to an extent is Marino. That's about it. But yeah, there's no point in proving anything to these people. There's nothing to prove. All the Eagles should be focused on Jalen Hurts is to winning the game. There's no more about silencing the critics. Because as you can see, perfect passer rating. Kyler Murray had that last year. Then bitch, if it's not that impressive, why don't you get the fuck up and you go do it? Why don't you go put on a helmet and pads, go to motherfucking Dick's Sporting Goods or whatever goddamn sporting goods is in your fucking area, go buy you a helmet, jersey pads, and you throw for a fucking perfect passer rating. Go see if you got the connect and the juice. He wanted all the juice. Go see if you got the juice to go be able to play a scrimmage game or however you want to play. You can even do 7-on-7s. And see if you can have a perfect passer and go try to duplicate what the fuck Jalen Hurts did on Sunday. You probably can't. You probably can't. So shut the fuck up. Not respectfully. Shut up. Moving the hell on. Carrying the hell on. Alright. Let's see. Nobody in the building don't give a fuck. Still gonna do me regardless. Y'all already know. Alright. Let's have a conversation about further into this game. So Saquon had him some runs from time to time. Nothing crazy about this stat line. He's still struggling, but again, as long as the Eagles... And here's the thing that really pissed me off. I saw a weak eye formation when we did a toss to the outside. I'm like trying to figure out like why the hell we didn't even try this in the first place. I was very confused. Tank Bixby, I said, okay, let's try him out at offense. Clearly not it. Well, the other thing that pissed me off is that Xavier Gibson was actually on this team, and I completely forgot about him. I'm like, why did we bring him in, considering the fact that our kick returners were not it? Xavier Gibson, kick returner, made a huge difference on his football team. Him and Will Shipley and Cooper DeJean are by far the best kick returners on his football team. Obviously, we can't use Cooper DeJean anymore because of how valuable he is at the nickel position. Some of y'all saying that Petrie might be the best nickel, or whoever was on the text, I'm like, no, fucking Cooper DeJean is. Right? Devontae, my favorite wide receiver in the league. 9 catches, 183 yards. Man, I'm telling y'all, and some of y'all had a nerve to fucking players left them out there top 100? Really? That's what we doing? I gotta go to Medea. Hello! I know you did not leave Devontae Smith at the top 100. Do you understand what I'm saying? And CTE kicking in. How you leave Devontae Smith at the top 100? Explain. No. I need you to explain right now why you left the Slim Reaper off the top 100 players of the fucking NFL. Medea, don't be cussing like that, but we gonna cuss now. Why is Devontae Smith left off the top 100? Answer me. Answer me. Are you not entertained? Do you understand why that was correct come out of my mouth? On some real shit. Why the fuck was Devontae Smith left off the top 100? Because he don't have the stats? Everybody knows Devontae Smith's one of the best route runners in the league. Does everything that your favorite wide receivers everything that y'all favorite wide receivers that y'all glaze, he does everything and significantly smaller than them. No respect. Got a career day. I think he had a career high. It was a 79-yard touchdown. So he had a career high as far as like his biggest receiving touchdown, or like his biggest amount of yardage he's gotten in one catch. And he had a career game as far as 183. And I don't think anybody has gotten 183 in the league, so he's the first player to do so. A.J. Brown had a great game, four receptions, 121, 2 touchdowns. Now, you kind of scared me because, again, I didn't hear it to confirm, but you left Jalen Hurts off your goddamn Mount Rushmore. That's a little alarming to me. It's a little alarming. Little alarming. Goddard had some catches. I need to see Shipley on the field more. I don't know if he's still nursing through an injury or whatever, but I need to see Shipley on the field. I should have saw Tank Bixby as I thought Bixby have a couple plays, and he wasn't very good. But I need to see Shipley a little bit back. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what's going on with AJ. I don't know if it was like a healthy scratch or whatever, but it's weird. Bourne had a good game. Cooper DeJean locking up Justin Jefferson one-on-one. That's not an easy feat for no man. Quinyon did a really good job, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to him. Praise out for Dory Jackson. I definitely don't like when injuries take place. Here's nothing that really killed me. And I'm gonna kind of bring this back to Jalen Hurts full circle. Hurts had a perfect game. You can't say nothing. You know what Chris Sims said? Oh, he had all day to in that pocket. Then he said, oh, well, he did a good job of creating. Which one is it? He either had all day or he did a good job creating. Which one? There were some good moments for the offensive line. There were some not great moments. And that comes from Olada and Dickerson. I saw you out there getting beat. Steen, I saw him get a penalty and then struggle on some. So the offensive line wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But when they did do well, they did do well. Okay? So I'm not going to harp on them too much. Jahad Campbell, and here's another thing that we need to have a conversation about, kind of transition into the defense a little bit. Jahad Campbell gave a significant bolster to this defense, and I'm so happy that this worked out the way it did. Jahad Campbell has completely, or might have, we'll see what happens down the road, because the Vikings O-line isn't the greatest right now, and they're dealing with injuries on their own. What Jahad Campbell did, moving him to the edge, and thank God again, because I would like to see N'Kobe Dean get a chance. And boy, he played really, really good. Like he was hitting with some. It's the way he was hitting, it almost was as if he wasn't injured all this time. Like N'Kobe Dean is a really damn good player. Cause and we're so lucky to have him because now moving Jahad Campbell to the edge, it helped other guys play better. It helped free up Jalen Carter, so now Jalen Carter isn't doubled and perhaps triple team. It helped Jordan Davis had a really, really good game. It helped Jalen Carter get to the quarterback. It helped Jalen Hunt get to the quarterback as well. And shout out to him. Listen, I dogged the man like, Jalen Hunt, you disappointed me, Jalen. You're not doing nothing, Jalen. You're a jersey to number. But I'm going to be very, very loud with my respect and my credit. Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. Jalen Hunt, very impressed. Way to make up for the dropped interception. He even pretty much said after the post game that that he remembered dropping it. So I gotta give credit when credit is due. Pass rush to the quarterback, he was outstanding. Definitely had his best game of the year by far. Getting that pick six on that terrible ass pass by Carson Wentz. And Carson Wentz is he's just not good. Just not. And I'm going to tell you what Carson Wentz wanted the whole game. And I said this on my stream, what they should do. They kind of did it, but they kind of did it. But they kind of did it, but they kind of did it. And I'm going to explain why. And I'm going to explain how I felt about the whole shit. Right? So, the thing is this. Carson Wentz does not have the same arm strength as he did back then, and injuries could have had something to do with that, okay? The reality is this. Carson Wentz just wanted out routes the whole game. That was what he was comfortable throwing, was the out routes. So I said to myself, you can let Carson Wentz scramble all the fuck he wants. I'm not worried about him scrambling. When he got his little scrambles, you think I was fucking worried? No, they were down. I wasn't worried about the fucking Vikings. And honestly, truth to be told, we kept them in this game because the play calling, again, Hurts played the way he played, which is outstanding, but the play calling continues to be hold this team back in some regards. Oh, couple things that really killed me. So the Chris Sims joint, and then I guess Devin McCourty, who I've grown to have a lot of respect for. I grew up watching him on the Patriots. Potentially a Hall of Fame player. He had a really, really good NFL career, so I respect what he did in the NFL. But to sit up here and talk about all they proved was that they're more talented football team, I think that was very disrespectful. But watch how many times they would have highlighted and talked, held players directly accountable by name. If Hurts would have played bad or anybody else would have played bad, they would have been very, very specific, but it's like, they just proved that they're more. That was a very lazy ass take by Devin McCourty, and I'm gonna leave it at that because I respect the man for what he did in the NFL. But to sit up here and to give that horrible ass, half lazy ass take, and not give Jalen Hurts credit or none of the players on that defense for stepping up, that was just very disrespectful, and I really don't like it. I don't like it, especially coming from a player of his caliber that played the game at a high level. Now, granted, this play calling issues are not going away, but you got to start giving credit when credit is due. You cannot sit up here and just say, this proved they're more talented. No. Let's go give Hurts a round of applause for having a perfect game. Not having a perfect game, having a perfect game throwing the football at a high level. And not just like, I had a perfect rating on 15 attempts. No, really throwing the football like a real NFL quarterback should, proving that he belongs in the top 5 conversation. And realistically, if everything goes where it's supposed to with the play caller and that improves, top 3. Seriously, whether y'all want to consider him or not. So I was very disappointed by how lazy that take was by Devin McCourty. I'm not going to go crazy on him, man, because, again, I respect what he did in the league, but that was a very lazy take on his. Very lazy take. But, yeah. But going back to the point I made, Jahad Campbell him moving to the edge and N'Kobe being able to play, being a really good football player, really, really, really helped this team. And that's just a credit to Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio, you know, sometimes we be sitting there as fans, be like, damn, like, why aren't you making X, Y, and Z move? But 9 times out of 10, I say about 98, 99% of the time, when Fangio makes a move or a decision to make changes on his defense, it's actually the right time. It's the right time. He's very patient. He's not very, because as fans, we tend to be very knee-jerk reaction. But him being an experienced coordinator, he knows when to, okay, let me let guys just continue to develop, work through the struggles, and then when the time is right, then make the necessary change. But when he moved Jahad Campbell to the edge, it really made a huge difference. It helped Jordan Davis have a good game. It helped Jelix Hunt. And Uche got his first sack. Shout out to him. It really helped open up things and find the pass rush actually got home to the quarterback, and it actually helped Jalen Carter a lot because Jalen Carter is the best player on this defensive line. So he's going to need, they're going to be like, okay, well, the other guys got to prove that they can get to that they're a threat. So until then, we're just going to double and perhaps triple team Jalen Carter and just let everybody else operate one-on-one. We're not worried about them. But having Jahad Campbell, such a dynamic and generational talent, really helped give this team a legitimate pass rush, right? Because if your defensive line can't get home whatsoever on anything, that's a problem down the line, right? So Jahad Campbell being able to make that transition, and then Kobe Dean being the player that he is, really, really, really helped this defense overall. So, again, prayers for Adoree Jackson. Hopefully that he ends up being okay. Makuba caught an interception. Moro Jomo had a sack. He ended up getting injured. I hope he's doing okay as well. Latu did have a penalty, but, it is what it is with that. Makuba, it's like he has some good qualities. He's done some things that most rookies do not do. They don't make interceptions and make plays this early in their career. But again, as far as being able to play the position the right way, consistency, and as far as being a starter, he has a long way to go to develop in that department. But Makuba does make plays from time to time and does show some promise that he is a legitimate, competent player. Okay? Elliott did miss a kick, but I'm not going to trip about it. So, going back to the situation with Carson Wentz, I'm a little bit scatterbrained. Carson Wentz was just very comfortable with out routes. So I said to myself watching the stream, and there's proof in the pudding because I did stream the Vikings game. Okay. Anyway, moving forward. I said, yo, Fangio, you need to start playing man-to-man. Don't give a fuck about Make those guys, Addison and Jefferson, beat us down the field. You want to know why? Because I don't trust Carson Wentz's arm strength. I don't. Make Addison and go make Justin Jefferson beat us down the field. I don't trust their arm strength. I don't trust Carson Wentz's arm strength. If it was anybody else, we got to stick to the script. Carson Wentz specifically, you're just comfortable throwing out routes. Bet. Go play man-to-man. Now, with that happens because there was no spy on Carson Wentz, he got his runs. But again, Carson Wentz is not that dynamic of a runner, especially at this point of his career, for me to worry about him gashing big runs. He won't get his little 10, 11 yards. He still got to put points on the board. Now, there was a catch for Hockenson. Now, I see both sides of the equation. If they would have given him the touchdown, unbiased as an Eagles fan, I wouldn't have been pissed off. And again, the man-to-man allowed Carson Wentz to get open as running the football, but it did, to a certain extent, kind of neutralize him keep using the out routes, which Carson Wentz was very much comfortable with. By the way, shout out to Isaiah Rodgers, Vikings fans. Not all of you, because there's racism in every fan base. It's an unfortunate reality, but it is what it is. You guys gotta calm the fuck down and understand that sports is sports. And regardless, if it wasn't sports, racism in any form, shape is not okay. Under any circumstance. Y'all gotta cut that shit out, calm the fuck down, start living in reality, and start understanding that it is not okay to discriminate against players or discriminate against anybody for any reason, and damn sure not over a football game. Calm y'all asses down. Start working more. Start occupying your time with things that are useful. And this is a tad criticism, we really got to tighten up in the middle. Jordan Mason, by the way, he did not break the fucking plane. They gave this nigga a touchdown. He did not break the fucking plane on that. I don't give a fuck what they said. He did not break the plane. But all in all, the defensive line got to do a better job of tightening up in that middle. We got running backs, and this happened all year. Running backs are too comfortable going straight through our middle of our defense. We got to clean that shit up. And we got to clean it up. You know, I trust Fangio, but we really got to clean that shit up in the future. Like, enough of these fucking inside handoffs and running straight through our middle. We got to make these offenses respect our goddamn defense. We really do. You understand what I'm saying? So, that we got to did that 100%. All right. Anything else I'd like to say? I'm not worried about Elliott. You know, Elliott did miss a kick. I'm not worried about that. Anything else on it? 44, Metellus, you doing some dirty ass shit, bruh. I even go, you were doing some dirty ass shit. I saw what you trying to do with Goddard, sir. That nigga was trying to do a lot of extra shit. A lot of salt and pepper. A little, too much of the little Baby Ray's barbecue. Too much. By the way, I was a little pissed off because we had Eric Wilson right in our backyard and we just let this guy go. Mind you, we've been having a linebacker problem before Zach Bond, before Edwards was with us, but he couldn't cover like that. But since the 2017 Super Bowl, we've been having problems with our linebacking core. And we've had good moments like having Edwards, Cunningham plays solid. But we've really been having linebacker issues, and Eric Wilson would have been it's like we let Raheem Mostert go. We had a running back in our backyard. We let him go. I'm pissed off about. And we let Eric Wilson go, who could have been our starting linebacker for years to come. Like, what the fuck was going on with our defense and our coordinators back then? Like, I don't understand. Like, why are we not trying to, make the most out of our guys and really allow them to be successful? It's just weird to me. Yeah, but way too many runs up the middle. We really gotta clean that up. Anything else I want to have a conversation about this? No, not really. GG's. And on to the New York Giants to go get our revenge. By the way, you guys are fucking hilarious. You guys could have beat the Broncos, the best defense in the NFL, and you let them score 33 unanswered points in y'all. And the worst part about it is Jackson Dart came back, got the touchdown. It's like, 17 seconds left on the clock, and you allowed them to come back? What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all suck. Giants fans, shut the fuck up. I'm not even going to mention your fucking name, nigga. You're not even worth it. You try to get personal when we talk about music. My music is good, bitch. Your motherfucking grandkids and your kids going to be going to my concert in about a year or two's time. Shut the fuck about my music, bitch ass nigga. I take my art and my self-expression very seriously. I'm not ass. I'm better than your favorite artist. Kids, suck a dick. Suck a fat dick, bitch ass nigga. Don't mention my motherfucking music. You're upset because I called your ass out. You was talking shit about Hurts after the little punk ass Giants won a game. Talk about some because you didn't want to hold Josh Allen accountable for not playing good on Monday Night Football. Josh Allen, very good quarterback. Overly glazed by the media, but I like Josh Allen. But they overly glazed him, which kind of makes me annoyed at Josh Allen, even though it's technically not his fault. It's just the media just doing too much. So it becomes a little bit harder to appreciate his game. And when he does do elite moments, because the only thing you gotta do is step out of a tunnel and the fucking ESPN mainstream media is having a fucking orgasm. It's crazy. But as far as you, I'm not gonna mention your fucking name, you're not worth it. Keep your mouth shut about my fucking art, bitch ass nigga. You're upset because I called your ass out. You didn't want to hold Josh Allen accountable, so it's easy to go shit on Hurts. And that's all I said. And I say, I'm going to annoy you with these all caps, which is not really annoying you because I do the all caps regardless. You motherfuckers are just too stupid enough to know you can't yell through typed words unless I put it through a fucking AI voice, you stupid motherfucker. And even then, I can't yell. You have to actually hear my voice. In order for me to yell at a motherfucker, you have to hear my voice. So many of you dumbass on social media talk about someone, all caps is yelling. Why are you angry? Bitch, you can't determine my mood because I capitalize every letter. And also, you can't yell at you if you didn't hear my voice. You're just reading words on a screen. Are you fucking dumb? Apparently y'all are. Apparently y'all are. Various points in history throughout all, y'all are. Clearly obvious. 49ers and the Falcons. Let's briefly mention that, and then I'm going to talk about the Stephen A shit, and then we're done for today. So, kind of just running through it. Basically, Christian McCaffrey had a good day. Had a good all-around day. Some inaccurate throws by Michael Penix. And again, I'm not a fan of this offense. This Pittsburgh offense got to go. And I understand what their reason is because, like, Bijan could see more of the field. But you didn't draft Michael Penix when you had Kirk Cousins in the first round to just be a regular quarterback to just hand the ball off to Penix. You didn't get playmakers like Darnell Mooney. You didn't keep, because you could have been traded away Kyle Pitts. You didn't keep Kyle Pitts on the team, have this offensive line, and get guys like Drake London, some real solid playmakers. You didn't get those guys to just sit up there to have Penix run the ball all day. Yes, Bijan is the guy you got to get involved the same way the Eagles got to, but you got a little bit of a Jalen Hurts and Saquon situation over there between Penix and Bijan. You got to help your quarterback out. You got to put him under center. And again, I'm not completely blaming play calling, but at the same time, things could be better if you help your quarterback out. You're not helping your quarterback out by always having him in pistol. That has to change. But again, I think that the game kind of got out of the hand. The defense could have stopped the run. There was an injury, and I'm trying to remember who it was. It's one of their best, pretty much one of their best, either their best defensive player or Falcons injury. It was a guy, it was a linebacker. That was, let's go to news. That's not what I wanted. Shit. Do they have it? Guys are killing me. Why they act like they didn't play a goddamn game just now? Oh, y'all niggas is killing me, bro. All right, I'm just going to go to the 49ers thing. Fuck it. Falcons vs. 49ers. So, San Francisco right now got a problem with the safeties. They're kind of in a safety battle right now because they don't have Hufanga no more. And yes, I called his name Hufanga on purpose. By the way, what the hell was going on with Dre Greenlaw getting kicked out of the Giants game, bro? I swear to God, them 49ers players be bad luck, man. I'm telling you. Stop taking off their goddamn team now. I'm trying to remember who got injured. I don't know why the fuck Howie Roseman didn't go after Leonard Floyd, bro. Like, maybe he probably would have been too expensive, but we should have went after him instead of goddamn fucking Bryce Huff, nigga. Like, what? We should have went after fucking Leonard Floyd. We would have got a better ROI out of goddamn Leonard Floyd. I swear to God. I'm trying to remember yeah. So when Divine Diablo, when he got injured, the team completely fell apart. Mind you, Ellis, what's his name? Christian Ellis? Do they have his name up here? I know they got goddamn Ellis up here. Caden Ellis. He's a very good player. Did catch an interception. Mac Jones was okay, but again, I think the biggest thing was Christian McCaffrey, basically dominated. And when the other team can't stop the run, ain't much you could do about it. Penix do some inaccurate throws. But when goddamn, what's this guy? I keep reading. Diablo, when he left, even though Caden Ellis is a pretty good player, the team act like they didn't know how to stop the run no more. So I don't know what was going on with that, but that was definitely an issue for sure. Agnew actually did a pretty good job returning for the Falcons as well. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is with that. I don't want to talk about the Falcons and 49ers too much. I like to move on to the next part. And the next game I want to talk about, so Washington and Dallas. Can I be honest with you? First off, I hope that Jane Daniels is okay. And Dallas, listen, y'all came and did what y'all did. Eberflus decided that, you got to go back to what the Cowboys are good at, which is man-to-man. And Jaden Daniels was pretty much shorthanded. He didn't trust his receivers, which I understand. Terry McLaurin and Debo both being out, it makes the game pretty much impossible when you got almost a pretty much entirely healthy Cowboys roster versus, it matters. By the way, Kenny Clark got hurt. Praise out to him. Hopefully he's good. And anybody else who got hurt in the midst of that process, whether I know their name or not. But yeah, it was a beatdown. Like, I think Daniels, JD tried to scramble some. Mariota is horrible. He's not good. I was even surprised he even happened to win him a game or two when Jaden Daniels was actually out. I was surprised because he's just not good enough. But yeah, Jaden Daniels had to literally keep scrambling on damn near every play because he really did not trust his wide receivers to get open whatsoever. They don't have no wide receiver depth, which is crazy. I don't know why the fuck they gave up Zacchaeus, and then they gave up this Brown. I think Brown went to the Jaguars. They got rid of all their wide receiver depth. So basically, once Debo and goddamn Terry McLaurin is out, they don't have nobody. Luke McCaffrey's an up and coming player. He's decent on special teams, but other than that, like he's still a rookie. You know what I'm saying? He got some ways to go. Let's talk about the Monday Night Football games. Lions and the Buccaneers going, and then we'll talk about the Seattle game and the Texans. So I would like to try to get this over with in like 4 minutes, right? No promises. But let's talk about the Buccaneers and the Lions. Jahmyr Gibbs was fucking outstanding. I'm talking about this probably the best all-around running back performance this year. We're talking about the speed. He already is super fast. Probably clocked like the fastest time a player did so far this year. And then the receiving, the tough running. Like, literally, Jahmyr Gibbs was doing any and everything. He was doing whatever the hell he wanted to do. That offense was rolling. And I'm telling you right now, great job by that former player that they made a defensive coordinator with Dan Campbell. He did a hell of a job coaching up them guys because he got them guys. He got the nickel guys. He got guys coming off the practice squad that playing their asses off. Hutchinson did a really, really good job in that fourth quarter, forcing some holding calls, really impacting the play bigger than just the stats and really making it tough and difficult for this Buccaneer offense. Now, I will say this. Baker Mayfield probably played his worst game this year. Baker Mayfield couldn't really adjust. And it was not entirely his fault. He's dealing with a slightly banged up Mika Akuba, right? He did miss a touchdown to Tez Johnson. By the way, what's that guy's name? Tez Johnson, who I thought was very interesting when they had a mention about Bo Nix's family taking him on, him being teammates in Oregon with Bo Nix. So I thought that was cool. Is that the guy's name, Ted Johnson? Yeah, he had Ted Johnson wide open in the end zone. But I'm going to be honest with you. This was just a beating on both sides of the ball. And really, this was a determined football team that saw an opportunity against a red-hot leading MVP candidate in Baker Mayfield. And it's like, what a perfect opportunity to turn a disappointing loss against the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. We back in prime time on Monday. This is a great way to rebound. This was a great win, not just obviously for, the seedings and all that. This is a great win for morale because, like I said before, Baker Mayfield is the best football player in the league right now. So to come up to him and make him play like shit, and again, it's not entirely his fault, right? Because you don't have no Chris Godwin. So basically, all he was relying on was Cade Otton and a slightly banged up Amika Akuba. That's very tough on any quarterback considering how many weapons is on that Detroit Lions football team from a defensive perspective. That's a lot to take place. That's a really lot to handle, right? But again, it's not to absolve him from the things that like you're throwing passes too high, you're getting a little bit too trigger happy. These are things that you have to kind of control and rein in. And it did come back to bite him in the ass, pause. But you understand what I'm saying? I don't think Baker Mayfield wasn't entirely at fault for last night, but I do think that some of the high passes and missed opportunities and then the interception, I do feel like you got to put those. Well, actually, the interception wasn't his fault because technically the defender ripped it out of Cade Otton's hands. And I'm so glad they didn't do this shit where oh, it's a tie, so it's going to back to the. I'm so glad they actually ruled it fairly. He took it from him, and I'm glad that was done correctly, right? I'm trying to figure out what else I would like to talk about that game. Try to move forward. Yeah, so Ted Johnson, you trying to say, get up there and try to do the Amon-Ra, like, I run this shit, nigga, and all that shit. Keep in mind, Amon-Ra St. Brown actually got fined for that. Just letting you know. Just FYI. So you could try to steal a swag, but also you could try to do the rebellious shit and try to, curse on the what's name. By the way, can we give a round of applause to Joe Buck? Let's give a round of applause to Joe Buck, man. We got to. Round of applause for Joe Buck. Let me tell you something right now. It's very rare in a commentator and analyst career where they actually get better. Bro, Joe Buck has been on a roll these last 3 years. He's actually a good. By the way, I appreciate you, bro, for coming on these podcasts defending the tush push. Like, yo, if you don't like his style, like, this dude is actually funny. Like, him and Troy Aikman, because Troy Aikman was talking about how he had a hamstring injury on a treadmill, and they was making jokes about it. Like, that shit was like one of the funniest segments I've ever heard. Like, yo, Joe Buck, brother, salute to you, sir. Like, seriously, like, he's actually getting better. Like, he's cracking some jokes. Like, he's like, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman is actually fun to watch. He's actually getting better. The enthusiasm, all the shit y'all was talking about. Bro, he's actually him and Troy Aikman are my favorite commentators to watch. Like, they actually make the game fun. And I think that little segment was talking about the him, hurting his hamstring, getting beat on a treadmill. I thought that whole segment was probably one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Like, one of the funniest things that happened so far in this young NFL season. That, like, I gotta give credit to this man. Has been leveling up his game for the last three at the very minimum 3 years. Y'all gotta start putting respect on that guy Joe Buck. I'm just saying, him and Troy Aikman, they really on one. And when they went back and forth on that segment, that shit was funny as hell. Very entertaining to watch. Joe Buck was actually saying some funny ass one-liners too. So shout out to both of them for sure. Reddick got injured 11-20. Nothing that pissed me off, bro. Reddick, if you go out in the goddamn market, you didn't see that they was going to give you the money, come back to Philly. I understand, okay, you felt like you was underpaid in the beginning. Okay, I took a sacrifice. I got underpaid to come here. Okay, I want to raise because I'm proving that I'm the best defensive player on the team. Cool. But once you go out in the market and you didn't see nothing coming back, bro, just come back to goddamn Philly. This nigga wasted his whole time going team to team and still didn't even get the goddamn number he wanted. Like to me, that shit was a waste of time. Last but not least, let's talk about the Seahawks and the Texans. I'm going to be honest with you. Can I be honest? I talk a lot of shit because y'all talk shit about Jalen Hurts unfairly. But I can't properly evaluate CJ Stroud. I really can't. First off, shout out to Sam Darnold for hooping, straight hooping. Him, they got a little run game going on. I felt like that, Mike that dude McDonald could have been more aggressive at some moments, but probably should have went for a fourth down. I don't remember which one it was. I don't feel like looking through my notes. But him up there, Cooper Kupp throwing that interception, probably kept the game from being much uglier than what the final score would probably insinuate. But this game was just single-handedly, it got close, but it really shouldn't have been close. I think that turnover by Cooper Kupp throwing that interception kept the game closer than what it actually should have been. But I got to be honest with you. Jackson Najigba, the real freaking deal. The real deal. Holyfield. But nah, on some real shit, he nice as hell. Shout out to that ref. I think the guy's name is Nate Burns. He was a former Cowboys player that got picked in the 7th round. Shout out to him for protecting him. And I gotta keep shit legit. I know you're gonna get at that on that dude Shair. I think that's the guy's name. But I gotta be honest with you. That roughing the passer call was the softest shit I ever seen in my life. This is football. You have to, at a certain point in time, got to let the quarterback fear being able to run the football. And to me, it was like, he drove him into the ground. No, that's just a nice hard tackle to let the quarterback know that anytime you feel like fucking trying to run the ball, this was going to happen to you. When you make stupid-ass calls like that, you cannot, like, you can't stop the defense from doing their job. A quarterback can't just feel like in his head he can run the ball whenever he feel like it. You got to let the defense do their job. I feel like the offensive line was a little bit OD. I get trying to protect your quarterback, but there was nothing dirty about what Shire did, right? And I think Stigley with the little stiff arm, that's a little bit kind of gray area because I feel like that maybe pushing upwards is kind of a personal foul. But in the same breath, you're trying to keep because you got an interception. You're trying to keep the offensive player from tackling you. But, I felt like the pushing up was a little OD. Shout out to Nate Burns for protecting Jackson and Jigba and stopping a really, really bad situation from happening because he was outnumbered on that goddamn bitch. It wouldn't have mattered nothing. Now, listen, the ignorant motherfucker in me would have been like, yo, what's up? Against 50, what's good? Bah, bah. You know what I'm saying? The ignorant motherfucker would be doing it. But honestly, you can't get mad from the Jigba just sitting there because he asked out. He ain't got no teammates. Nigga, I ain't gonna lie. If I was this teammate, I would have ran in. I would have, man, Saran tested that motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? But look, C.J. Stroud, I cannot evaluate him properly because I can't see a guy that clearly knows football. He understands football, has the talent. Think he passes. He's in love with the game of football. You can tell how he talks about it, how he talks about the plays, how he studies film. You can tell he knows what the hell he's doing. But that offensive line, the GM is at fault. That is the equivalent of the Eagles trading away prime Jason Kelce, which they almost did, but thank God they didn't, or Lane Johnson. You don't get rid of Tunzel, especially when your offensive line, you have nobody else. It's not like, that's like the equivalent of get rid of Lane Johnson and you don't have a Jason Kelce. You have no other solid replacement that can compensate for the loss of Tunzel. You have a bunch of mid-round draft picks. There's no excuse for this GM to not build this offensive line, and it's been happening even since the Deshaun Watson era. These Texans have an offensive line issue, and that's because they're not doing it. Offensive line is not built by an acquisition of free agents. Offensive line is built through a few years of good drafting, not just the starters, but the depth behind it. That's why Howie Roseman is the GM that he is, because again, it's more than just the splash players. It's also due to the fact that he spent years and years and years of hearing the fans bitching about why we got this play, why we get this guy. It's too much focus on the skill players and not enough focus on prioritizing building an offensive line. Not because you need it right now, but because you're looking 2, 3, 4, 5 years ahead. That's how difference between a great team and a great organization, a great front office, and everybody else. And the Texans, again, the history keeps repeating itself with Deshaun Watson and now C.J. Stroud. Okay? He has no time in the pocket. None. As soon as he hikes the fucking ball, the pressure's in his face. I can't blame C.J. Stroud for that. I can't blame C.J. Stroud for turning the ball. Sometimes, like, as a quarterback, you don't know what the fuck to do. It's like you have in your head, okay, I need to get the ball out of my hands. To who? And Nico Collins, I got to keep it real with you. You're a top 5, maybe at your best. You're a top 10 NFL caliber wide receiver. I need you to step the fuck up. I need you to play better. There's no excuse for you. Also, I don't know what's going on with Tank Dell, if he injured. What's going on with the other guys that you drafted? Like, you drafted maybe a killer or two. What's going on with Dalton Schultz? Guys need to step the fuck up, okay? There's no more of this. At the end of the day, especially for Nico Collins, I'm calling you out directly because at the end of the day, you're the best player in this team. You're a top 10 talent in this league, potentially top 5. Okay? You're among the best. I need you to step the fuck up. I need you to go out there and go help your quarterback. Go catch the fucking ball. Seriously. The run game, non-existent. Okay? Mixon goes down. Chubb is a north and south runner, but clearly the interior run is not working, so you need shit to that outside. Your rookie is so-so right now, still developing. Texas don't have a run game. This is abysmal. I can't even blame C.J. Stroud for this loss. Not to say that he didn't make any mistakes, but I can't evaluate him this year. I can't evaluate him at all because there's a malpractice on the offensive coordinator for not understanding, oh shit, my quarterback has no time. Let's stop doing these long-ass routes down the field. Let's start getting guys. Let's start doing jailbreak screens. Let's start getting things where my receivers can get open right away because my quarterback has no fucking time to throw the ball. This is coaching malpractice on the coordinator. This is GM malpractice. This is a whole organizational malpractice on the Houston Texans. This is not on CJ Stroud whatsoever. Honestly, I think he'll be fine. But this organization has to change, or otherwise, go get rid of him. Go and let him play with an organization that knows what to do with him. You have to accept the loss that he might be better on somewhere else outside of your ball club, because this is fucking ridiculous. You already made the mistake with Deshaun Watson, and you about to repeat it with your brand new franchise quarterback. It's fucking ridiculous, especially with how good this defense is. You're wasting a potential Super Bowl window with all this goddamn talent. Nico Collins, please, respectfully, step the fuck up. That's all I got to say, y'all. That's all, I got. This will be uploaded very, very soon. Maybe I'll talk about the Stephen A thing the next time we come up on stream. You know what I'm saying? So we'll do that. That's all I got to say, y'all. Peace! Hey.